Welcome to Currents. My name is Karen Mukai, and with me today are the co-chairs of the College Hill Arts Festival, Mary Sue Bartlett and Doug Johnson. This year's festival is Friday, June 21st, and Saturday, June 22nd. Let's begin with Mary Sue and have her tell us about the artists who will be at the festival this year.
Thanks, Karen. This year we're celebrating our 41st anniversary. The festival was conceived by Hugh Pedersen back in 1979 with 35 artists who exhibited their artwork at the corner of 23rd and College. And over the years, this has evolved. We've moved across the street to the campus of the University of Northern Iowa, and we've increased to 75 artists. And those artists come to us from a variety of different ways. We do some advertising in national publications to ask them to consider applying. But one of the most effective ways that we get artists is through word of mouth. We have such a wonderful reputation nationwide, and artists tell other artists, you know, this is a festival you want to come to. Even though we're not large, but we have a very supportive community for the original artwork. So this year we have 75 artists who've come to us from over 20 different states, as far away as Florida and California, Colorado, Michigan, all over. And over half of them this year will be brand new to our festival or returning after a couple years of absence. And we identify those artists who apply through a system called our blind jury. And so we identify 3 different jurors each year. And that is coordinated by Jessica Moon, who handles the jurors. And every year they're different, so it's always impartial. It maintains the integrity of our festival in that way. And so those jurors in January will start looking at all of the slides, images that our artists submit, and they rank them 1 to 5. And then when the juring process is over, I tabulate the scores, and then we identify the top score getters for each medium. And that's how we identify the 75 artists who are chosen to exhibit. So then those jurors will come back to the festival to do the judging, in which I think we'll talk about a little bit later in the show. But these artists will be exhibiting in sculpture, ceramics, photography, wood, mixed media, glass, and fiber. So we'll have a really nice mix of mediums for the public to come and enjoy.
Tell us just a little bit about the jurors. What kind of occupations do they have in their other life?
Well, and that's interesting too. Jessica does a wonderful job every year of finding 3 jurors, and they can, a lot of times they're artists themselves, but they can also be a gallery owner or a curator. And so they all come with a different set of experiences, and they may look at artists a little bit differently, but I think that really helps, as I said, maintain the integrity of our artists that are chosen to exhibit.
So each year we have a new mix of jurors, and we're pleased that half of the people who are coming back
That's correct.
have been here before, and that we have some new artists also.
Yep.
That sounds very nice. Good. Well, Doug, you're in charge of the site and what goes on around the festival. Tell us a little bit about parking, how to get to the festival, that kind of thing.
Sure. Well, the festival is actually on the corner of College and 23rd Street on University, a nice grassy, well-shaded area. So it's a great place to have the festival. It's temperature-wise, it can be very, very pleasing. Hopefully, we never know about the weather totally, but as far as it getting to that area, you can come in on College Street off of University Avenue, or you can come from Hudson Road on 23rd Street to get to the festival, or even from Cedar Falls, more from the north end, you can come take 18th Street to get to College Street, and then come up the hill to that area. As far as parking, we work with the city of Cedar Falls very well, and they're very cooperative. We bag the meters, so to speak, so no one will have to put any money in the meters. We allow parking on both sides of the street in an area around the College Hill area. And then there's also parking, city parking lots behind the businesses on the hill that will be available. Obviously, some of those areas, parking areas, do get full, but there's a lot of street parking also at that time of year. In the summer, there's less students at the University of Northern Iowa, so there's should be plenty of parking. You may have to walk a block or two, but the weather will be very nice, so it'll be an enjoyable walk. As far as a handicap lot, we do use the lot just to the west of the festival that we have probably 20, 30 handicap spots available. It's right adjacent to the food area, so it's very accessible for those that need to park close to the festival. So we will have that available also. To my knowledge, there is no construction going around in any of the streets immediately around the College Hill area, which is excellent. There's plenty of construction going on in the city, but hopefully this summer, unless something happens just prior to the festival, all the streets should be open and no congestion as far as construction. So that's a real positive thing also.
And you also put out signs, don't you, directing people to the festival?
Yes, we do put signs on the major roads like University Avenue, Hudson Road, even down on Main Street. So if you're really wondering how to get there, look for that sign and it'll direct you to the festival.
So this festival just isn't right on University Avenue, it's on College and 23rd, about what, 4-5 blocks from University Avenue?
3 to 4 blocks from University. It's probably 5 or 6 blocks from Hudson Road, which Hudson Road, a lot of people come in from that direction too.
Sure. Do you know, is the university ramp available for people to park? You know, the one north of Bartlett?
That would not for free.
Okay, they have to pay. They would have to pay.
They would have to pay for that lot. We do use that lot for our artists. We try to get our artists to park further away from the festival after they set up their booths, and we use part of that area for our artists to park on, so that frees up more area right around the festival.
Okay, and you mentioned the handicap parking. That's between Bartlett Hall and the festival site.
Correct, and yes, and
So
it's
that's easy.
right off of 23rd Street,
Okay.
just to the west of College Street.
Okay. I'm hearing lots on the news about tornadoes. Are we covered for that?
We are covered that. We have actually a Lang Hall, which is right next to the festival, is a 3-story building, and that's where we would go, and it connects underground to the Union, which is all underground. So we have a great facility within 50 yards of the festival that we will, if that happens, we don't like to talk about it, but we have plans of it all set up that it would be announced and everyone would be escorted to Lang Hall for shelter in case of severe weather.
Okay, that's great. We're well protected that way. Now, for some of us, bathrooms are very important.
There again, we have the great facility in Lang Hall, same building that has several restrooms in it, and they are indoor restrooms. We don't have the porta potties, so to speak, outside. We just have, the university is works with us very well in having those restrooms available and kept clean. So if you do need to use a restroom, we have several in that building right adjacent to the festival there again.
And they are kept very clean. That is a
Yes.
nice perk for the festival.
We do have the janitors on staff the whole time of the festival, both days, so keeping tabs on that area and making sure that it's very pleasant for everyone to use.
Okay, now where do we buy tickets to come to the festival?
Well, I think it's sold out, so we're going to open it up free to everyone. That's one thing great about this festival over the last 41 years. We've never had to charge for anyone to attend and don't intend to ever have to charge for anyone. And we've always had great crowds, and you just come and enjoy and maybe buy a little art while you're here. Save your parking money and use that towards the artists.
Great
and
idea.
your rental or your ticket.
And there are multiple places where you can enter the festival site.
Yes, the main one, right, is really on the corner of College and 23rd, but there's three other ones right on College on 23rd Street, and actually from the west by the parking lot by Lang Hall is another entrance too. So,
Good practical information. Thank you, Doug.
you bet. You're welcome.
Okay, Mary Sue, now we're going to be giving some awards at the festival. Tell us about those, please.
Well, we are. When I earlier mentioned our jurors who choose the artist to exhibit, we will bring those jurors back to the festival that day on Friday, and they switch hats. They now become the judges, and we offer several different awards to our artists, and that shows them the support of the community and how much we value art. So we have our best award is called our Founders Award, which is given to one person, one artist, and it is to honor Hugh Pedersen, who was the founder of the art festival. So this is in his honor, and so that award winner will receive $750. Then we have 4 different Award of Excellence winners who are also identified by these judges, and they are chosen irregardless of medium. So all 5 of those award winners would then become jury exempt for the next year's festival. The Awards of Excellence winners receive $500 in cash. But one of the most fun awards is something we started 4 or 5 years ago. It's called People's Choice. And in the booklet that is available to everyone will be a tear-out voting sheet. And you can go around and you can pick the artist that you feel is the most popular and wonderful artist that, in your view, and you vote for that person. And then we just give out a People's Award of $250. So, and the artists really value that because it's an interaction with the community. And so that's really been quite popular. We have a number of ways that we support our artists, and award winners are one of them. We also offer Artist Hospitality House, which is chaired, I should say, by Christy Marchesani. And that is located in the Honors Cottage on campus, right adjacent to the festival. Artists can take a break up there. They can go up, it's air conditioned. We offer them all sorts of light snacks, fruit, cookies, bagels, something to drink, water, and they can just go. We have free internet for them up there and a bathroom. So they really appreciate the Artist Hospitality House. Christy also runs a B&B program. So artists, if they choose, they can be paired with a community member who offers them free lodging while they're there. And that's been a wonderful partnership between our community members and our artists. About 20 artists a year take advantage of that program. So that's been really, really fun. Another way that we support our artists is through what's called Artist Relief. And Jerry and Lynn Spurgett, long time festival committee members and supporters, they're tireless. We provide free water to the artists the whole time because it's so important to, for everyone to keep hydrated, and especially them. So they have a little wagon and they have another volunteer that goes out and they provide free water to those artists all the time. Or if an artist needs somebody to sit in their booth so that they can go get a bite to eat or go up to the Artist Hospitality House. So Jerry and Lynn Spurgett do a great job on that. So one other thing that we do for our artists is the buffet. And on Friday night, Chris Cruz is kind of in charge of that program. And we have a wonderful buffet dinner for the artists at the conclusion of the festival. And we also include our corporate sponsors, our board members. And it's a wonderful way for our community to interact with the artists. Sometimes in the bigger festivals, they don't have any personal touch at all. It's just, it's very impersonal. And here we'd really tried to show them how supportive we are and how much we value them. And so in all those ways we do.
We couldn't do it without the volunteers that we have from the community and the people who serve on the festival board. They really do help us so much. And as you mentioned earlier, this is one of the perks or there are many perks for the artists, and that's what keeps them coming back.
Exactly.
We're going to go to break now. We'll be back in just a little bit, but want to remind you again, the College Hill Arts Festival will be Friday, June 21st, and Saturday, June 22nd on the University campus. Welcome back to Currents. Today we're talking with Mary Sue Bartlett and Doug Johnson, co-chairs of the College Hill Arts Festival. The festival will begin on Friday, June 21st, and continue on Saturday, June 22nd, and will be located on the corner of College and 23rd Street on the UNI campus. Doug, let's go to you and talk about people and organizations who are sponsoring the festival.
Yes, obviously our sponsors are very important to us. We like to keep this festival free of charge for the general public, but there are some expenses involved in doing a festival of this size. So we've had over the number of years, we've had a lot of great sponsors, and this year we have a lot of the same ones back again. And our major sponsor is the Financial Resources Advisors, FRA as they go by, and they sponsor our buffet on Friday evening, which is a great event you had talked about recently, earlier I should say. They're one of our major ones. Another sponsor that really helps us out is Cedar Falls Tourism. They're very helpful in promoting and helping us promote this event throughout the community and throughout the state of Iowa, because we like to get a lot of outside visitors into the community also. And then we have a lot of our entertainment sponsors that are John Deere Motors, Jennifer's on Main Street. Standard Golf also helps us sponsor the Symphony Petting Zoo, which we'll talk about a little later, which is a great event for the children. Viridian helps us with another children's activity, the balloons, and then we also have a face painter, and Witham Motors, I think the Witham Community Motors, as they go by now, is also a big sponsor of the youth art galleries. The other ones that we should mention also are as Mary Sue had mentioned earlier, the Award of Excellence. We have 4 sponsors for those, and I may have to have Mary Sue help me on the names of those, but I know First National Bank is one of those sponsors here in Cedar Falls. Martin Brothers is second one. Kathleen Porter does the sponsorship, and the Mud Group is the 4th one of those 4 sponsorships for those Award of Excellence that go to each of the artists that are chosen by our jurors.
We couldn't manage without their support, could we?
No, it would be, as I think we mentioned earlier, we have all volunteers, so we're not paying the staff to do this, but we, as I mentioned, we still have a lot of other expenses to pull it off, and it's just wonderful that these organizations and groups are willing to help sponsor these activities.
And if I may mention, not only is Kathleen a sponsor for one of the awards, but she's our treasurer for the organization
she
and does
is.
an excellent
She
job,
does.
doesn't she?
Awesome job.
Well, Doug mentioned the children's activities. Mary Sue, do you want to tell us about some of the things that are going on for the children?
Well, every year we have the Hearst Center come back and do children's art activities, which they always look forward to and always have a lot of kids there taking part in that. Another very unique thing that we do is called the Young Art Collectors Gallery, and our artists donate or contribute original artwork that they have created, and everything is priced $10 or under in the Young Art Collectors Gallery. Only youth ages 14 and under can go in. And so they can pick out original pieces of art for $10 or under, and it really fosters an appreciation of art in the young kids. And one really neat aspect of it, Hannah Tucson is the person who coordinates that effort, and when a child makes, or a youth makes a purchase, they are told who created that piece of original artwork and what booth they're in, so that youth can then go to the artist and just to see the artist talk to the youth that bought a piece of their original art, it's magical for both the youth and for the artist. So that's a very wonderful thing that we offer.
It is. It's so much fun to see the kids coming out with the artwork. And of course, mom or dad can't go in.
No.
It's only the children. And there are adults available.
Yes, Hannah has a wonderful set of volunteers who assist the kids in helping. They don't make the choices for them, but they answer questions or just assist them if they need it.
And help them figure out how much money they have and what they can buy for that amount,
Yeah.
for that amount of money. Doug, you mentioned the petting zoo for the musical instruments. You want to elaborate about that a little bit?
It's a very enjoyable event, or a time where children can, and young adults, I should say, can come and just try out some different instruments. We have a tent set up actually right across the street as part of the festival, but across the street from the UNI bookstore. There's a tent set up, and we have musical instruments that students can come in and just blow, toot, or however you want to do it. And that's why they call it a petting zoo. It's just a great opportunity for younger kids to experience or try a different instrument. And that is, I think I mentioned that earlier, but that is sponsored by Standard Golf, and we work with the Waterloo Cedar Falls Symphony, and they're very agreeable to help that. And this year, the time has not been set for sure, but usually we do that Friday afternoon into the evening, depending on when they can have volunteers available to have them in the tent and bring the instruments.
Will the Hearst Center be there this year?
Oh yes, I guess I didn't remember if Mary Sue mentioned that. Yes, the Hearst Center will be there both days, once again having a lot of activities for the students to do some artwork and just a lot of fun things that the students have the ability or will have the opportunity to create. That tent is actually located just off of College Street, right next to the Honors House is where we put that up. It kind of sets up a little higher and gives a lot of shade for the kids, and we have a lot of tables in there, and the Hearst Center brings a lot of different activities, and they're pretty much there from noon till 5 or 6 in the evening both days of the festival.
The music that and entertainers that are at the festival are geared, that's family entertainment. Is there anything specific for the children this year?
As far as entertainment this year, no, we do not have anything.
Okay, just wanted to check on that.
Sure.
For the people who are involved with art festivals throughout the nation, Sunshine Artist is one of the premier magazines that evaluates festivals and other things related to festivals. Mary Sue, tell us about our involvement with Sunshine Artists.
Well, it's been a wonderful experience for us because not only have we been ranked many, many times in the top 100 festivals in the United States, which is quite an honor for a smaller festival like ours, but also Gary Kelly's artwork has consistently won honors. And I was just notified yesterday that Gary's artwork that he created for last year's 40th anniversary which was kind of a takeoff on his cow that he had quite a few years ago. But Sunshine Artist honored him as Best Original Artwork in the nation. So that was quite an honor that he received. And so we look forward to what he creates for us each year, and we couldn't be luckier or more honored to have Gary do that for the festival every year. So we look forward to what he creates for us. Now, that original piece will be offered for sale through a silent bid system. We will also have t-shirts and posters that will be signed and available for purchase at the festival.
Great. It is a wonderful honor for us. Doug, could you give us, we're running out of time.
Sure.
Could you give us a listing of the musical groups that will be performing?
You bet. I think they may even have them up on the screen here. Starting off Friday at 11 or 1:15 is Honey Jack. I may mention we may have a special guest prior to that performance. We're just not sure. And I should mention that Perry Miller is actually the individual that is on our board, and he lines up all these acts. And he won't tell me who that first act will be yet. So we're going to hold that out in suspension for right now. But as I mentioned, Honey Jack will perform at 1:15, and then we have the marimba band that we've had before that later that afternoon, and then they're followed up by the Ramblers, which I think a lot of people really enjoy them. And then we finish out Friday evening with Zoot Newt Band, and they've been here previously too, and a very enjoyable group. And then on Saturday we'll have the Suzuki School performing 10 a.m. in the morning, and that brings a lot of kids in, and that's a real kid-directed event. And then the Enablers, and then our favorite group that we've had for a number of years is the Salsa Band, kind of finishing out Saturday with a real good time of people dancing and just enjoying the great weather we'll have.
Yes, right. Oh, that's a good lineup for us. You and Mary Sue wanted to mention the board members because they do so much to make this festival go. Doug, would you like to begin and list the people that
I think
you
I'm going to let Mary Sue rattle those names off. She's a bit better at that.
We'll give you a little help if you need some, Mary Sue.
Well, I think we've tried to mention everyone that has been such an integral part of our festival over the years. And as we've said, we could not do this without the support not only of our board members, but also our community and our corporate sponsors. It just wouldn't happen. And so I want to say two special thank yous. One to Denny Bowman. He's been amazing helping us out and very patient with us as we go through this process. But most importantly, to you. And I hope I can get through that. But Karen has been a mentor to me. She was co-chair for 9 years with Len Froyen. And then when she talked me into trying to fill her shoes, which I don't know that I've done that, but I've tried. And she has been a terrific mentor to us and to me. And I just want to say thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, Mary Sue. That's very kind of you to say that. I've enjoyed it thoroughly. This has been a great time working with the Art Festival. Thank you so much. We also maybe need to mention you and I and the City of Cedar Falls for their help with the festival.
Yes, we cannot forget either of those organizations. The City of Cedar Falls, obviously, I mentioned earlier, are very cooperative of us, helping out with the streets. But the University of Northern Iowa has been great in letting us use the grounds and a lot of the facilities they have. We work with them, and they're a big part of the festival, and without their help, that wouldn't be happening in this location.
And we also want to mention Bette Peterson, who works with the vendors on the site, and Sally Jordan, who does friends and patrons and gift certificates.
That's exactly right.
Oh, okay, we got lots of people helping us. Mary Sue, would you like to give us the times and dates of the festival as we wrap up?
Well, I hope everyone comes out and enjoys the festival on Friday, June 21st, 12 to 8, Saturday, June 22, 10 to 5. Everything is free. Come enjoy the atmosphere and take some art home with you.
Thank you so much to both of you. We've had a great time today and through the festivals throughout the years. We'll see you this year. Bye.